and welcome back to the Dish. As you can see, we are so honored to have our other cast member with us, Raquel. Hi, Cal.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Amen. Congratulations on your win this past weekend, Miss Chaparral.
Thank you.
Also, we have another guest with us, Kareem. Hello, Kareem.
Hi, Kareem. Hi, Kareem.
And you know, our viewers, they're always sending us comments on our Facebook and our YouTube page. So we have a comment that we're going to turn into a topic tonight. So Jason's going to read a little brief synopsis of that comment. Jason?
It reads, "You guys are awesome and I love the show. I wanted your views on when is the right time to share your status."
When is the right time to share your status?
And when he says your status, he's talking about your HIV status in a dating relationship. And this is perfect timing because yesterday was National Black HIV Awareness Day. So this is a perfect tie-in to that.
To this topic, yeah. And we all know have been affected by someone who is HIV positive. I don't know about you guys, but I know people who have even passed from this dreadful disease. So you guys don't have people who have passed on and people that are living with HIV and AIDS now?
Yes.
And one of the reasons that we have our special guest here, Kareem, you want to share your story with our viewers?
I would like to share my story. I would like to start off by first stating that I have been positive since 2003, and I feel that it is my calling to speak out on this subject because it means so much to me. As far as my whole life and my journey, this is the being of who I am. As I said, as I was diagnosed in 2003, it was a very dark period of time in my life. I began to go within and keep all of this to myself because of the stigma, because of the ignorance, because of all the prejudice that comes along with this topic and with this situation. So for me, it began the journey because I knew it was something deeper, and it was something deeper to the story because although I knew that I was positive, I was trying to find a way to come out of this and come out of this with a whole new perspective on life. I always tell people that I truly personally feel as if HIV has saved my life because it was a very dark road in the beginning. You know, I was very, very, very promiscuous, very in a lost space, and knowing that in this community, I know that it's so many others. You know, everyone has their own different story. You know, some maybe for the first time had sex and was not smart and made a bad choice to where as though it cost them to now have to deal with this. Some as myself personally, being very promiscuous, looking for love in all the wrong places, seeking it outside of myself and not making very smart choices and decisions. So when I got diagnosed, I asked myself, what could I do to change this and to make this into a better situation for myself and for others? So I had a very good friend of mine, my closest and dearest friend. This was the person that I confided in and I shared with them what was going on with me. No one knew at the time, as close as I am with my mother. My mother, she's my rock, my support system. So it was very hard for me not to be able to disclose this information to my mother.
How long after you found out did you disclose the information to your mom?
I didn't tell my mother till about almost 2.5, 3 years. And that was very hard to do because I'm very open. I'm very open with my life. And my mother, like I said, she's been supportive of all the things that I've been through, but that for me, I guess because of my own shame, because of my own feeling of letting down my family, feeling of everyone looking at me in this perfect, Kareem always had this together light, to knowing me feeling as if like I'm not all of what everyone thinks that I am.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay. And where were you when you first heard about HIV and AIDS?
I was just coming out. I was 18 years old. Although I heard about it before, just of course going to the clinic, going to the doctors. I have a daughter, so of course when you go to the doctors, you see all of this HIV, and I think for me myself, because of me knowing that I was at an early age in a promiscuous state, I would always try to be in denial, try to block it out and shun it out, so I couldn't really take it in or really acknowledge within myself that I knew that I was doing things that I put myself at risk with this. So it was at an early age that I first found out about HIV. I also had a lot of family members that had passed away from it, so it was something that I grew up around a lot of, gay male figures in my life, that I would always hear these topics, I would always hear these discussions about it. So it was like I always knew, I was always aware of it.
First, I would just like to say that I admire you for being so open about your status and about your life and sharing this with people, and that it is, for a lot of people, a great comfort to have someone to talk openly about this. So I really appreciate you for that. That's wonderful, I think.
It is. Thank you.
And it takes a lot of strength and courage, I think, on your part. But I'm curious to know even more into the question from the viewer as to when is the right time to disclose your status.
Are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
And how long have you been in this relationship?
We've been in this relationship for almost 9 months now.
9 months.
Yes.
And when did you disclose your status?
I disclosed, well, this is someone that I've known for some time. We were really good friends, and I disclosed this information, I'll say about a month into the relationship, because it was beginning to get to a serious level. There was no sexual activity going on in the beginning of the relationship, but when I knew that things were starting to lead up to that, I knew that I had to make a choice to be honest and share my truth, because I would not want to put someone else's life in jeopardy, So I came out about a month in. The feelings was getting really strong for one another. I was beginning to feel really close, getting to a really, really deep, vulnerable place with this person, and I felt like I could not continue on with going into the relationship. First and foremost, what really caused me to open up is because I made a conscious decision to myself to say that, knowing that the lack of self-love for myself in the beginning is what caused this, I felt as if me being honest and open with my truth, me stating my truth, was me saying that I love myself enough. I love myself enough to say that I cannot continue going into the relationship with someone without them knowing all of me. Because if you know all of me, then you can love me for all of me.
And you said that you were diagnosed in 2003.
Yes.
And you've been in a relationship for 9 months. So just like there was a time where you had to get yourself together before you can disclose your status to your mom. How long was it before you could actually think about going out and being in another relationship?
Well, that wasn't hard, because although I knew that I was dealing with that, it's this mental thing, Although you know, it's that other part of you that is like still battling with knowing that it may be some sort of sex addiction, or still looking outside of yourself. So although I knew that I had to be honest with someone in a relationship, I was still in a place of being promiscuous, but still in the place of being in my truth as well.
And when you say that, it reminds me of it's just like, smokers. It's just like, the doctors could say what cigarettes are bad for you. Cigarettes will do this and da. And then some doctors will tell people, you have a severe case of cancer. You need to stop smoking.
Yes.
But it's the same thing when you get the diagnosis that you're HIV positive. You just can't let go of the promiscuous behavior. That's what you're saying?
It's something that it takes time. It's a healing process. It wasn't something that, although once I found out that I was positive, it was like, I'm just going to continue to be messy. I was still being promiscuous, but I was still protecting myself. And
I think what I'm trying to ask is, was there ever a time when you found out that you shut down? There was a time when you just shut down and you didn't do nothing?
It was never a period of time of shutdown for me, and it was the opposite. And I think that's what a lot of people go through now. When they find out, they feel as if, it's no hope. I'm going to die. So opposed to them feeling like, okay, shut down, let me stop, they just continue in a down spiral.
Which again is, to me, to hear something like that, it's sad for a person to be in that place, because no, it doesn't mean that you're going to die, and it doesn't mean that. But I guess too, like you said, if it's some type of addiction or something that you have, I guess it would be difficult to just stop something. But it's not. It doesn't have to be a death sentence, I think. And I think again, the importance of someone like you being vocal about it and speaking about it and sharing your story will help people to see, that they can go on and that they can even disclose their status. But even to me, to do something like that, I think that it would be a very personal. I would think that each person would be a little different, as to how they.
I truly believe that everyone's journey is their journey. I truly believe, for me personally, when I did get to a place of telling, my loved ones, my support system, my mother, I would tell them in a way of, I understand that just because I'm being vocal about my situation, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else, that's what they want to do in life. I feel as though everyone gives back in their own different way. Everyone does something, to support or to show, their care or to bring awareness. Everyone has a different journey, a different story. For me, because it's been so personal, because I have lost so many family members, so many friends, because of my best friends passing, and because of me coming out and sharing with my own father that I was HIV positive. My father came out and told me that he was HIV positive.
Wow.
So I feel that because it has hit so close for me, I feel as if it's my duty. It's my calling to to speak out about it. And of course I know the fears and the ignorance of others, and should I not say nothing because of people I've been with in the past, but if I would do that, I will continue to allow the disease to have a bondage over me, and I just choose not to.
Right. Another part of the question. Oh, I'm sorry.
How long was it before you're the guy you're involved with now? How long was his process of dealing with you coming up?
He was very accepting from the beginning, because, like I said, I spoke out about me being HIV positive back in Philly. I was in New York for some time, and it was through New York that I began the journey of coming to terms with knowing that I wanted to be open about it. So once I started that process, and then I would go. A friend of mine had passed away, and when a friend of mine passed away, something in me was like, I know that I'm going to get up at this funeral, and I know that I'm going to say something. Although the voices in your head is like, you better not do that. That's not a good idea to do that. I knew that it was something that I needed to do. So when I spoke out at the funeral about me being positive, that have raised awareness, and a lot of my friends back home, in Philadelphia, in the gay community, I'm very popular through the ball scene and all that, and everyone always looked up to me as like, mother, father figure, or just a positive person, period. So I felt as though, why not use this to get them to see, that it's really serious. And although you see me for what's really going on. So when that process happened, when I moved to Atlanta, that's when my partner had already heard about me speaking out. Because when I told him, I said, I would like to let you know that I'm HIV positive, and it's always like the most frightening thing. But when I told him that I was HIV positive, he said, Kareem, I understand, I heard, I knew, it doesn't matter. I love you regardless. And this is not the first person that I've dealt with that has been very supportive. And I think that a lot of people think that everyone is just going to shut you out. Yes, you will get rejected. Yes, some people will. They may not say, oh, I don't want to deal with you anymore. But you'll know that because of you telling your truth, that's not, the reason why they would like to continue to keep in contact with you.
And then we all come from a community that when people find out that we're just gay, everybody's not accepting of us being gay. And we can just talk about this on and on. And we are going to talk about it on and on, because you are you're enlightening us on a lot of things. And I'm enjoying the conversation. And if we're enjoying the conversation, I'm sure our viewers are enjoying the conversation. So we're going to take a break, and we come back, and we're going to talk about, I want to know, do you have any siblings?
I do.
Okay, I want to know how your siblings are dealing with it. And also I want to know the reaction of your parents. Since you told your parents, and then your father revealed to you that he was HIV positive. So we have a lot to talk to you about. We may have to be here about 6 or 7 more sessions.
And I can go
All right,
we'll be right back
with our special guest, Kareem.